Hello and welcome to my top 10 games of 2019. This is going to be games that I played in 2019, not games that came out in 2019. So some of these might not be from the year they came out, and some games that might have made the list for someone else's list, I might not have played yet. So they might not be here for that reason. Also, since it's games, it's not going to be quite strictly games that I myself have played. Some games I might have just watched someone play enough that I'm like, okay, I understand the game to the extent that, I'm not going to do a game where I've seen a couple clips of and I haven't really seen much. But, a game that I generally fully understand the gameplay aspects and full, if it's a story game, see the bulk, if not all of the story. Yeah, those will be included. And I don't think I really had any games on here that I didn't play my game. I think maybe one or two total at most that I didn't actually play myself. With that being said, here's my top 10 games. Number 10, Grow Up. By the way, most of these are going to be games that I played on my channel, but some of them might not be. I do play games outside my channel, of course. Anyway, number 10, Grow Up. This was the sequel to Grow Home, which I played them out of order because the names seem to be the other way around. But anyway, this one had so much to it, and it was such a fun, surprisingly fun aspect of trying to climb my way up into the skies and reach the moon and put Mom back together. It was just a really fun ordeal that had so much to it, and it was just a really, really fun game. It's not much more than that. It's just it's a really pleasant, fun game that I really enjoyed. Number 9, Colot. This is another one that I played on my channel. Most of these are. It really nailed having the weird horror aspect of it. The enemies had weird mechanics to them where they just appear out of nowhere, and that's cool. Yeah, that's really fun. Might have got me killed a couple times. Anyway, it had it was really atmospheric, and I really liked what it did as far as atmosphere and story goes. The story wasn't that heavy in the game, but it was mostly to the side. But and of course had one of the biggest pluses you can have in a game, in that narration by Sean Bean. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. It's Sean Bean. So anyway, number 8, Heartbound. This is one of the Undertale inspired games. It's not I'm not trying to say it's Undertale 2. Apparently that's something that'll get the creator miffy about it. But anyway, Heartbound was actually a lot of fun. Had really, I don't know if they were really that deep of characters, but they were interesting characters that and it's not a finished game yet, so there's still more to come. But I played through the first chapter. They had Grunkle Stan there for some reason. I think he's supposed to be the dad in the game. And it's not actually Grunkle Stan, of course, but looks like him. It was a really imaginative game that I really liked, and I can't wait for there to be more to come out soon. I'm following the creators. I think it's Pirate Games, something like that. Pirate something games. I've just been kind of somewhat following the process of it being made. I'm hoping that the rest of the game comes out soon, so I can get more of it. Anyway, number 7, Mario Maker 2. The first game was really, really incredible in the fact that it really launched this idea and kind of changed Mario as a whole, in a sense. Because you can't look at the platforming Mario games, not the 3D ones, but the traditional platforming Mario games the same without looking at a Mario Maker. But Mario Maker 2 took that and expanded so much and added so much variety to it in a really cool way. It was a lot of fun. And for any of those plussies out there, go out and play Minecraft The Way Home. Best level. So onwards, number 6, Blair Witch Party. Or might I add party? Blair Witch, I meant to say. It was a surprisingly scary game. It's not that scary if you know the mechanics of beating the enemies, but apparently I wasn't good at that, so they actually managed to get to me a few times, and it had a surprisingly good story to go with the game that I think could have been done better at the end, although the end was the best part. Not gonna try and say it wasn't, but I just kind of wish that they had gone in a couple different directions. But overall, the game was great. It was really great. 5, Oxenfree. Man, this was such a good game. Where you just go around and, like, the characters are all a lot of fun. I like pretty much everybody in that game. And, like, they really play with the aspect of paranormal happenings and ghosts, and, like, really use a lot of the tricks that ghosts typically have to their advantage in that game really well. It was a really fun story, really fun game. Number 4, Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've been a big Pokemon fan since I was a small kid, of course. So I've been following the games forever. Love the series as a whole. And one thing I will say is that as much fun as I have playing Pokemon, and as much as I love the series, I'm not going to say that any of the games are that great. Honestly, like, I think maybe Gen 3, are actually, like, legitimately great games. But, like, the rest, it's just kind of a great franchise and a great premise that kind of carries the gameplay. Because, I mean, if you look at the story and actual gameplay of Pokemon, it's kind of lacking. And Pokemon Sword and Shield kind of falls in line with that, but they at least try to make it more fun, and try not to, like, they add a bunch of interesting things with the wild area, and add a lot more to the story than a lot of people make out. A lot of people bag on my boy Hop, although he does get a lot of development in the post game, surprisingly. I will say this, like, the most important things for a Pokemon game, in my opinion, are the region and the Pokemon themselves. You've got to have interesting Pokemon. And you've got to have a fun region to explore. Or else, everything else is kind of secondary to that. That's why my favorite is Gen 3, because I love the Pokemon, and I love the region. Yeah, there's too much water, but it's still a fun region. And that's kind of why I couldn't get into Gen 5 and not Gen 7 as much, but okay. Well, Gen 5 I couldn't get into because, like, I didn't have much of an opinion for most of the Pokemon there. I couldn't remember half of them for Gen 5. And Gen 6 and Gen 7 had a lot better Pokemon after that, so I liked them a bit more. Although Gen 7's region I don't like as much. But the thing is, Gen 8 did knock it out of the park with both the region and the Pokemon themselves. So many of the Pokemon in this region, especially early on, I really wanted on my team, to the point where I'm just sitting here like, damn, I've only got 6 slots, but I've got like 10, 12 things that I want to take with me. What am I supposed to do? Which, that's a good problem to have. Well, in the gens that I think are probably the weakest as far as Pokemon goes, I might have, like, only 4 Pokemon with me that I actually want to have on my team, and the others might be out of necessity, just because I need something to, I don't know, teach strength. And, that's just how my team is going because of those reasons. But, having really interesting and fun Pokemon to play with, that's a good problem to have. And I will say, I haven't played it yet. I might play it on the channel, but I'm not sure. Temtem, I think, just came out the other day, which is going to be a real competitor to Pokemon for the first time in forever. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out. So anyway, hopefully that gets Game Freak to actually, like, develop their games more and actually, like, make significant improvements to the Pokemon formula. Which, again, the formula works, but I will say that it is very formulaic, of course. If you like one Pokemon game, you'll probably like them all. Anyway, let's move on. I spent way too long on that. Number 3, The Stanley Parable. I do love a game that gets very meta. And no game has gotten meta in quite the same way as The Stanley Parable. This game was so fucking funny. It's like the perfect blend of the meta-ness that Undertale and a few other games have, and the humor of Portal blended together. And it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. It was so fun just doing things like just having a broom closet ending where you just don't leave. and going around and doing things like purposely trying to screw up the story just to make the narrator mad. And it was surprisingly fun just to explore every path that game had to offer. It was such a good experience. So anyway, on to number 2, Gris. Gris was a lot of fun. It's one of the most beautiful platformers I've played in a while. Well, in the lines of Ori and etc. But Gris was something special. It really used art to its advantage. Art and music were both used really well in that game. It's just such a beautiful game, and I don't know. I'm just gonna keep reiterating that no matter what I say. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. No matter how I'm phrasing it, I'm just saying it's such a beautiful and fun game. But it's not quite number 1. But first, let's hit some honorable mentions. Untitled Goose Game, Corpse Party, and Distraint 2. All fun games. Definitely worth checking out. But my number 1 game that I played this year was not on my channel. I just played it casually. Which was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Man, they took everything you could have wanted from Smash, then added a bunch more things that we didn't even know we wanted, and then gave us this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fighting game. I just don't know what can be said about Smash Ultimate that's not already been said. It's number 1 for a reason. I'll just say that. It's just Smash Brothers in general is just so fun. I have so many fun memories from playing the Smash 64 version. It's I'm honestly genuinely good at that one. I'm not as good as Melee, Brawl 4, etc. But the Smash 64 one, I have a lot of memories with. I've put a lot of time in that game, and I'm really good at it, I think. And, Smash Ultimate, it's kind of giving me that same feeling of, man, this is just a really fun game to play. Which, Smash in general does, but, I think this might be objectively the best Smash game. Not accounting for I just have nostalgia for a certain thing. Smash Ultimate is finely tuned and really, really well done. All respect to Sakurai for everything he's done for us. Such an incredible game maker. But that wraps up my list for 2019. Of course, there are some games that aren't on here. If I play them in 2020, you'll see them there. If I play them in 2021, you won't see them there. If I play them sometime in the future and I'm still making lists, you'll see them there. Eventually I'll get to them. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to them yet. I've still got plenty of games in the past that I need to get to. I was planning on making videos on a bunch of PS4 games, but it's a bit more complicated to set up with the way my room is laid out for me to record those, so not yet. I've got a bunch of big PS4 hits God of War and Spider-Man that I haven't played yet just because I've been saving them to play on the channel. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just go ahead and play them, because who knows when I'll actually be able to record them. And of course, we've got a bunch of games coming out this year that I'm going to be playing on the channel that I'm really, really excited to play, Ori 2, Little Nightmares 2, Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk, that I'm hoping will be playing on the channel, but most of those will at least. But I don't know about Cyberpunk. I don't know if that's a PS4 exclusive or not. I'll need to check. But there's a lot of good games coming this year that I'm hoping to play. And of course a lot of games from the past, especially indie ones, smaller ones that I tend to play on the channel, that I'll be playing at some point. So look forward to that. And I've gone on way too long. I need to end this video already, so I will see you all next time. Not next time, but in another video. Subscribe to the new channel that's going to be based more around general content instead of just gaming. Although this is still going to be on the new channel just because it's a top 10 list, so why not? Instead of an actual me playing games. But anyway, I will see you all in another video soon. Bye.